creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
Still think about you, strengthening your own words, singing all the wrong words to hallelujah. Sweatshirt on a warm day, trying to keep a straight face. That's hallelujah. Tracking with your fast dance, saving all your slow dances. I wish I was there with you.
It's Friday, June 28th, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skyflying from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
I just got a text from Jesse saying, "Are you good to pod?" Because I was late, and it just came in, Jesse. Your text just came in. So.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
Pod's such a cool way of saying it, too.
Yeah, it is. It's very cool, and that was the point.
Because it's short for podcast.
I mean, I saved myself an entire syllable texting. You guys have no idea how much time I'm building up later in life by not adding words like cast to things, you know.
On the escape line from Gatorland, Florida, Eddie Big Cat Koffolds.
Yes, it's a privilege.
And sitting in for the whole show today, our old friend from Los Angeles, California, Science Mike McCarthy.
Hey, friends.
Welcome in.
It's good to be here.
Oh, so glad to have you back. You can't know how many times you're brought up when we go down some sort of awful wormhole of lunacy, and we go, man, we really needed Mike to pull us out of that spiral.
and then sometimes we're like, it's probably good that he's a very well respected author, speaker. It's probably good we didn't demand that he be a part of this lunacy. So we appreciate you jumping back in with us.
There's nothing I love more than meaningless frivolity, honestly.
Okay.
Well, you're in the right place.
You were there at the apex of it at the 10-year show we did. I just remembered that. That was
the definition
what a dream.
of frivolity. Hey, Mike, this is how frivolous our podcast has gotten. You're out here, talking about game-changing revelations in neurology and science. We had an extended conversation about waterbed patch kits last week. So that's where
whatever happened. It started with whatever happened to waterbeds, and then all of our memories of them springing little leaks came up.
So the latest addition to our store is official Relevant Podcast waterbed patch kits. They might just be vinyl stickers.
I gotta order one immediately. I don't even have a waterbed, but I just trust your discernment so much.
Hey, Mike, good news. If you go to Walmart.com, you can procure one for under $200. So
we did the research live. Like I said, a lot of stuff's happening on this podcast. It's us and Michael Barbaro from The Daily that's really pushing culture forward and pushing this medium forward. He's got current events handled. We've got waterbed patch kits. I wouldn't rule out an extended conversation about watermelon this week, though.
Oh, no.
Well, it is the week of July 4th. There's going to be a lot of grills and watermelon consumption. So
it's my favorite holiday of the year.
I mean, and just so we're clear, there is such a thing as a watermelon patch kit. So just bring it full circle.
And ironically, it looks like a Relevant Podcast sticker. You just slap it right on that melon. Keeps all the juices in, and you can
we're definitely going to sell it. If we can sell it, we're going to sell it.
We're going to monetize that thing.
We make a profit off of almost every joke if we can.
Right.
We try. We got to, make money podcasting somehow. Hey, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we're joined by they're so hot right now. The band For King and Country is joining us. They have a brand new single produced by Timbaland, and they just kicked off their new global tour. So they're coming on later to talk about that. It's exciting.
This has been, that band is comprised of Joel and Luke Smallbone, who are originally from Australia.
Hold on. The band is led by those two brothers, but they have 47 people in the band.
And literally, here's what they told me. They said for this tour, because they're on the festival tour and then they're doing the official. Their album's called Burn the Ships. They're preparing the Burn the Ships tour as well. And they said that the seating will look like you're in the hull of an old ship, Like, and they weren't joking around. Like, it's a high concept tour. They compared it to like a Hamilton like experience. Like, it's gonna, I think all 47 people are gonna be involved. But here's what I wanted to get to the bottom of when I spoke to them. This was they are hot right now. They're getting ready for this global tour. They just collaborated with Timbaland. But I had to get to the bottom of a discussion that's been ongoing on this podcast of whether or not their Australian accents are embellished, because they have been. Mike, I'm really glad you're here for this, because you can offer some actual expert insight, because there's been a debate among us on this podcast of if you were to move from Australia to Nashville at like age like 5, that's about the time we determined they moved over, right, guys?
It was the mid 90s. So yeah, around age 5, they moved because their sister is Rebecca St. James. Rebecca Smallbone. Yeah.
So Mike, here's the question. If you were born in Australia and lived there from age 5, but then have lived in Nashville for like the last, 25 years, would you have to embellish the Australian accent in order for it to remain strong?
Well, it's going to vary from child to child.
Yeah.
And it's also going, your parents' accents actually matter a lot in your accent formation as well.
Okay.
So I would imagine it would be less embellished than you would think if their parents moved over as well, because older people have much, much, much less accent shift as they move from location to location when compared to children.
Yeah.
But can offer like a stabilizing force, especially if English is their primary language. If English is their secondary language and another language is spoken in the home, then parents' accents affect children's dialect and accent much less.
Cameron, if we can make a quick note to get Mr. and Miss Smallbone on the blower too, for
we
a
got to
quick
get to the
interview,
bottom of this,
because I don't care what we tell. Hey, tell them we're doing a story about the parents of famous children. I just want to get them on the horn and get this accent thing resolved, and then I can sleep at night.
The suspicion kicked up because they came into the Relevant studio 6 months ago with all 47 band members. They recorded some songs live. And when they were here and they were talking to us and they were doing the interview, it was as though they never left Sydney. It was like a very hefty Australian accent.
Yeah.
But when they were just kind of chit-chatting amongst themselves, out of earshot, or thought they were out of earshot, seemed to be way more of a Nashville Americanized pattern of speech. And we were wondering if the brandedness of we're Australian, is their public persona, but maybe privately they have far less, Australian sounds.
Because as we established, Australian accents are the most coveted in Christian music. Like, that's they are at the pinnacle. They are far and away. It's instant credibility.
Yeah.
Although the opposite, when I was growing up, I grew up with this guy named Ian. He always had an English accent, said he was from England. Would go over to his house one day. His parents, perfect, just normal American accent. His parents had moved from England when they were children. He never lived there. So for his entire life, he just did an English accent. And I thought the lunacy and commitment of this guy is to be commended.
No,
That's insane.
But here's the thing, though. An English accent automatically makes you appear 30% smarter. Like, you could say something, just like a standard thing as an American, like, yeah, I'm thinking cheeseburgers for lunch. Or you could say, I'd like a cheeseburger for lunch. And all of a sudden, you're this wizard scientist from Hogwarts. It's just, I understand why he would do that, Eddie,
Oh, yeah, it ruled.
It's the inverse of my native Southeast accent, where everyone thinks you're 30% dumber. If you're I'd like a cheeseburger.
Oh, yeah. No. You have like good Tallahassee. Like,
you have the Florida Panhandle. That's a special kind of Southeast.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
very
because there's different Florida, because I'm like Florida, Central Florida. I mean, here, me and Cameron, we're both Central Florida.
Yeah.
There is no accent.
There's no accent.
But you get a little up there into the Panhandle. It's real life up there.
The great thing about Tallahassee is just the way it's spelled. It's impossible to say without a Southern accent. Tallahassee. Try it. Like, it's written. It's the only word ever constructed that you can't sound just a little redneck while saying Tallahassee. It's just the way the word's good. It's a brilliant word,
It's also true
Yeah, it's a word that's impossible to say with a British accent. Eddie, try to say Tallahassee with a British accent right now.
It can't be.
It can't be done. It can't be
done. It's a convergence of forces. The tongue literally cannot happen.
Mike,
interesting fact about Tallahassee: 83% of the existing waterbeds in the U.S. reside in Tallahassee.
Oh yeah, it's going very strong up there.
I believe that.
The waterbed museum's there. It's a double wide right when you pull into town. It's a double wide right when you pull in town, and it's not zoned. They don't have zoning laws down there.
They don't have zoning laws, no.
Yeah. And
not a lot going on in Tallahassee, though. Truly, my daughter wanted to go to for her birthday. She wanted to travel somewhere, and she wanted to either go to Tallahassee or Japan. And I don't know why she picked those things.
Wow.
and we're like, well, I mean, I guess let's go to Tallahassee. And really, we just had like pizza at some big pizza place, and that was like, and then there's the school.
It's like you're watching. It's like it's Chef Table, and it's like, ooh, this one's about a restaurant on top of a Norwegian glacier. This one's Tokyo, an underground place in Paris. And look, a double wide in Tallahassee. Let's see what they got going on there. Oh, you eat on a waterbed, and your beverage is a waterbed. I got to see this place. Yeah,
Mike, you moved to LA a year and a half ago, give or take. Is that right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, 2 years this month.
There you go. And how do you feel? Are you still wide-eyed living in LA, or is it now home to you and you can't remember how you ever did the Tallahassee life? Like, do you feel settled in LA now?
Oh, I feel very settled in LA.
Yeah. Could you ever go back home? It is currently
63 degrees, sunny, and low humidity, as it is basically every day.
Yeah. And you guys can't see Mike, but he's not wearing a shirt. He is oiling himself every few moments.
He has a Panama Jack hat on. Yeah. And I'm going to pull up my weather app here. It says Tallahassee right now is sweaty locker room is the temperature. It's just sweaty middle school locker room on Tallahassee. So I think
LA, it was a real easy shift to go to one of America's 2 mega cities with incredible food and culture and weather. With snow as a destination during the winter, I can be on ski slopes in about 45 minutes from my house, and I can be with my feet in the Pacific Ocean in about 35 minutes. So LA's not bad.
Pretty bad choice then.
Well, in Tallahassee, I can throw a stone from anywhere in town and land in an above ground pool at any point. So I don't know if LA's got that.
You can be in a vape shop at anywhere in Tallahassee. You can be in a vape shop in 32 seconds. It's actually a city law.
Also true.
For some reason, Tallahassee recently made vape pens the official bird of the. I don't get it. I don't even get it. It doesn't make sense, but I'm just leaning into it at this point.
I actually thought mosquitoes were the official bird of Tallahassee.
Yeah, they changed it. They changed it for PR reasons. They're getting a lot of vapors in town.
When Tallahassee gets internet access, they are going to blow up our feedback.
They just released an official vape juice flavor. It's horrible.
Let me tell you,
yeah.
Growing up in Tallahassee, you're so excited for a media mention. It doesn't matter that they're literally always derogatory.
Yeah.
I mean, Lost had a whole subplot about how terrible Tallahassee is.
Yeah.
The Office had a whole subplot about how terrible it is, but we're just like, somebody said our city and it wasn't about an election. Woo!
It is. It's like being trapped in a shed and just praying for Google Maps every 10 years to fly over and hope something happens.
I love when the Office made Tallahassee the headquarters of Sabre.
Yeah.
And they went down there and they had that arc where I'm going, obviously clearly they never been to Tallahassee. I was like, there's no office that large in Tallahassee, first of all. And the whole like Stanley Hawaiian shirt, convertible. I was like, this isn't Miami. The Tallahassee is very different, Stanley. And I just felt like they were just doing a big wide Florida stereotype versus a Tallahassee stereotype.
And the actors were not sweating enough for it to be a plausible Tallahassee.
They were enjoying it way too much. Yeah.
Did you watch Bloodline, Mike, on Netflix? It's like with Kyle Chandler, and that's in the Keys. And every scene, like, I don't know if it's part of the script or not, everyone's just sweating through their shirt, you know. And I feel
100%.
like that's just
just
Florida, you know.
They actually shot that on location. That's why it wasn't part of the plot. It was just,
it's
just
like
literally
actually quite hot.
It was miserably hot there, and that's just the reality. So the cast got their own above ground pool. I mean, that just a Florida law's an incentive for them to start filming more down there.
Well, it should say, like, instead of the Sunshine State, it should be like the Sweaty State.
Yeah,
yeah,
it would be more accurate.
It's just immediate sweating.
Yeah, perspiration. Yeah.
All right, moving the show along. Stay tuned. Up next, it's the Hot List.
I'm wide awake, missing your face, missing your taste, wishing you were lost with me. Now I'm driving your way in the middle of the rain, wishing you were close to me. And no, I don't wanna wait, I don't wanna say, remember where we used to be. 'Cause I don't wanna live that way, so tell me that it's not too late.
You're listening to Lost by Blake Rose. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Slow Dances by Winnetka Bowling League. Winnetka Bowling League.
Was any of that a joke, or was that all real words?
All real words.
Cameron, at this point, this many years in, you're just making them up, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, it is time for...
It's the hot list, the hot list. It's sizzling.
Disgusting.
That is the Tallahassee State
Very
City song.
provocative. That's actually illegal in Tallahassee. It's too sensual.
they can't.
It's too sensual. You play something that sensual in Tallahassee, you're going to get those weird Florida man stories. You know, just keep it off the radio. You don't need to tempt the population down here. It's sultry enough. It is sultry enough as it is. Don't go
They have
playing,
enough
don't
of
go
a problem.
pumping that out through the airwaves. Lord knows
They
what'll
have enough
happen.
of a problem with bath salts up there. They don't need us adding to the malarkey.
All right, coming in at number 5 this week on the Hot List. Speaking of The
I got a
Office,
groan from Mike.
The Office is going to announce this week that they're leaving Netflix for good. In a tweet, Netflix explained, "We're sad that NBC has decided to take The Office back for its own streaming platform, but members can binge watch the show to their heart's content ad-free on Netflix until 2021. A little shade there saying ad-free because the NBC one is going to be ad-supported. So Netflix is trying to little dig there. It's a huge loss for Netflix. By most industry estimations, it's by far and away the platform's most watched show. In fact, 3 NBC shows, Parks and Rec, The Office, and Friends, remain hugely popular on Netflix. Netflix paid $100 million to stream Friends in 2019 alone. I heard a study, this isn't in my notes here, but I heard a study that we recently, I think, published that it was surveyed, millennials were surveyed, and 65% of millennials in that ballpark said that if The Office wasn't on Netflix, they would cancel their Netflix subscription. And
I mean, that's kind of true.
this is huge. It's all seriously, because think about it. If you take away Disney's going away, Avengers is going away, all
Star
NBC
Wars.
shows are going away. What's left? Netflix originals.
Rob
Who's
Schneider's sitcom.
Who's paying $18 for that?
Rob.
Yeah, historic roasts.
I mean, seriously. I mean, what's left is garbage. I mean, it's like, all the good stuff is going to their own, their own ecosystems. And now the Disney one, which all this, they own ABC, ESPN, Freeform, Fox now, all the, movie properties, Pixar, all that's going to Disney for $7 a month.
Yeah.
Netflix is trying to roll out over 15. I mean, it's like the beginning of the end for Netflix, folks.
I know. And I'm just glad we're in the era of cord cutting, because all I need right now is paid subscriptions to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO Go, Disney, and now NBC. It's so much easier than paying one expensive cost. Let's just chop it up into 10. Yeah.
ESPN, it's going to turn into cable again. Like, you're paying $70 a month to watch what you want to watch.
And the next cable provider is going to be Apple, right? We're going to pay them $10 a month to let them sign us into all of that, right? Like, isn't that where it's got to go?
Well,
I've got a real simple strategy. I don't watch TV very much, and when I do, I binge watch a show. So whatever service the show I'm watching is on, I sign up for that one, and I cancel all the other ones.
Oh, that's kind of
great. I
great.
just go around signing up for like a month of something, watch that, stop it, next service, watch it, stop it. Because they can't release enough stuff where there's already more than you could ever watch.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
just one at a time, I'm good.
That's what happened after Game of Thrones ended. There was like a massive cancellation of the HBO streaming service because everybody was just subscribing for the final season of Game of Thrones, and then they cancel. And then they said like they were doing a lot of like new, there was like articles about it, and they were just asking man on the street, and they're like, yeah, I canceled it when whatever next big buzz series starts in 9 months. I'll probably sign back up. So it's like. Yeah. That's really what people are doing. They're just going a la carte and they're canceling and hopping around.
I got a life hack for you guys. I used to just set up burner email accounts to make, now now you need credit card information. If you try long enough, just punching random numbers in there and hitting, technically you're committing credit card fraud. But I'll tell you this, no one's called me yet. And I've got months of watching videos on obscure Russian websites with credit cards. So it's just a little pro tip, for everyone out there. So.
It is amazing to me, though.
Primeflix.ru is Jesse's go-to.
Yeah, it's this great streaming service out of Uruguay. They got everything.
It is a little amazing to me, though, that NBC is just now figuring this out. Because for years, streaming has been available. And for years, NBC has had, outside of just the three that you mentioned, Cameron, like there's also The West Wing and there's just like a ton of these NBC shows. Like, I can't believe it took them this long to bring back their properties. Doesn't it seem like crazy that they haven't done this yet?
I do. I also think it's strange that we don't have more easy access to so many archives of shows that are just sitting in these network vaults that were beloved or nostalgic. Like, would you rewatch, a bunch of 90s shows and stuff that, like, other than these 4 that Netflix paid for? I'm wondering if, like, when now the networks start launching their own streaming services, if it's going to open up their catalogs and, like,
totally,
I mean, that would be interesting. And
like every past Regis and Kathy Lee.
Or sure, or other.
Is that an ad
options.
to get me to sign up for someone else's service?
Didn't Tony Danza have a talk show at one point? I'd love to know the answer. To that.
I mean, what happened to all that stuff? Like,
the
why
Magic Hour with Magic Johnson, such a great show.
Yeah.
But seriously, wouldn't you? I mean, it would be interesting to be able to like go back and dabble with that stuff. But there's nowhere has it.
Yeah.
Or even like old, truly old like classic television. I know we have like whatever is curated on TV Land or whatever. But I mean, like to go back and be able to watch, everything from Andy Griffith to Benson to the Dick Van Dyke. I mean, that'd be cool. These streaming services have. What? I like Benson.
Good one, Mr. Belvedere,
Webster.
Just the classics.
Speaking on behalf of the nerd community, we've been trying to figure out since the 80s what it was going to take to create an infrastructure that would let people watch literally whatever TV show or movie they wanted to, literally whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
And no one predicted it was going to be this like balkanized collection of streaming services.
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting that with 100-year legacy of media creation, that the thing everyone seems to want to watch is a parody of what it's like to go to work.
Yeah. That's a great point.
It's a strange, like, pinnacle of media experience to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, to be reminded of how uncomfortable you are when you go to work once
it's
you
not
get
travel.
home.
Right. It's not travel. It's not sci-fi
it's not
or
a
living on other
show.
planets.
It's people selling paper. Yeah.
It is literally the most average people making jokes in the dumbest job on earth.
Yeah, exactly.
What a
really
species.
great point.
Yeah.
All right, coming in number 4 this week on the hot list, we got our first look at the criminal justice reform series, Free Meek, this week. The Amazon Prime Video series tells the true story of rapper Meek Mill and the legal issues he's faced and how they've led to his efforts to reform the criminal justice system. Along with never-before-seen footage of Meek Mill, the series features activists and reformers like Jay-Z, Van Jones, and others. The series releases on August 9th. Here's a clip of the show.
As soon as Meek was imprisoned, he became a symbol for criminal justice reform.
The system tries to put Meek Mill on trial, and Meek says, no, I'm going to put the system on trial. I was on the corner with the y'all keep messing with folk, you're going to start bringing black and white together, rich and poor together. And once those folks start getting together, they may not stop.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm really looking forward to the series because the more you read about some of the details, so like Meek Mill's story, like just a quick primer, he got into some legal trouble when he was really young, like in his really early 20s, and ended up on basically a bunch of technicalities because of a very vindictive, what's looking like a very vindictive judge. His probation was extended for over a decade for like a really relatively minor offense. Like at one point, he was sent back to jail because he got a ticket for doing a wheelie on a dirt bike and ended up going to jail for like months at a time. And because of like the absurdity of how once you have one charge, that the justice system can, put you on probation and for very arbitrary reasons. You could show up literally a minute late for a probation meeting with your probation officer and they can take your freedom. They can take your children. You can lose custody. And so I don't think it was until Meek Mill's case became public, and I think this series will do a lot for it, that the need to reforms to the probation system. Like, I think everyone's aware of like the criminal justice system reforms that need to get made, or at least I think that's becoming more of the awareness. But this particularly focusing on the probation system, I think it's going to open a lot of eyes and hopefully lead to some actual reforms.
There you go. Coming in number 3 this week on the other end of the spectrum, Justin Bieber this week shared a Rich Wilkerson Jr. sermon with his 114 million Instagram followers. The pop star shared a clip from the recent VU Church conference in which pastor and author Rich Wilkerson Jr. encouraged viewers to be courageous about their callings. It's not the first time Bieber has used the platform to discuss his faith. Last month, he told followers about how relying on faith has helped him through a difficult season in his life. He said, "Jesus has given me freedom, and the pursuit of getting to know his character is never ending. God's character never changes. He's the same yesterday, now, and forever. He's always good. I won't be afraid to be vulnerable before him. His power is made strong in our weakness. God isn't afraid of your pain and your brokenness. He actually welcomes it. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Those are words from Jesus. Here's a clip from Rich's sermon that went viral.
I'm telling you over and over again, leadership is this feeling. I'm scared, but I'm trusting that I'm prepared. And Jesus, he says something here in this text that's really kind of amazing to me, because here he is going, "Father, not my will, but your will. Let this cup pass from me. I don't really want to do this. I don't really feel like doing this. This is scary. This is a big deal going to the cross." But here he goes. This is what he says. He says, "The flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing." And I think today what we want to try to attempt to answer a little bit is, what does it look like to prepare a ready spirit? What does it look like to have a spirit that is prepared and available for when God says it's time to step out and go, that although you are afraid, you will remind yourself of God's word, that it's not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit of God. Can I get a witness in this afternoon?
Mike, I have a question for you. Living in LA, Biebs is out there. It's Celebrity Central. What is your best celebrity encounter that you've had since you've moved out there?
Oh, yeah.
Don't say Michael Gunger.
No.
You're not going to believe it. I've run into him like weekly.
I really wish I would have thought of that. That would have been perfect. I ran into John Krasinski at the Magic Castle.
Really?
Oh, wait,
But
you were at the
I-
Magic Castle?
I love the Magic Castle. I'm a member.
Oh, dude. Okay.
I've been
Okay.
working on my magic, but
The show just ended. We're going to talk about that for the rest of the
All right,
entire
Cameron,
show.
cancel the plans. Cancel for King and Country.
Yeah.
This is a
No
special
guests, no
episode.
nothing.
Yeah. I need to hear about this. Yeah.
How do you become a member there?
Yeah.
Do you have to show them your magic abilities?
well, to become a magician member, you have to audition in front of a panel.
No.
You can also become an associate member
Okay.
just by paying a lot of money.
Yeah.
Which I don't have that. So instead, I'm a student member. I'm enrolled in classes. So I go every week and learn to do magic from
Mike.
Stop.
people that know best.
Mike, listen,
How do they-
I've
how do
already
they break the secrets?
Listen,
How do you
Mike, I've already admired your career for a long time. This is a new level, man. This is you're
What you
in
have done
classes
is
at the
pale.
Magic Castle. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you should lead with that.
Yeah, Ask Science Mike kind of changed my life, but this is absolutely nothing.
Author,
compared to
podcaster, magician.
Magic Mike?
Magic Mike McHarg.
Oh, sometimes the names write themselves.
They do.
The question I have, Mike, though, is like magic is supposed to be a secret. So how do you get the wink that they're going to now show you how to do the trick?
You basically, once the classroom door closes, and it does close, right? Like they don't pass her by, like getting any tricks.
No looky-loos coming.
They will show you how every trick that's part of the curriculum works. So
Whoa.
they perform the trick first, and you watch and are amazed.
Yeah.
And then they teach you how to do it, and then you perform the trick, and the instructor gives you notes and instruction. And
what can you do?
What's
you
your
learned?
best trick?
I've got some really, really fun stuff that are tests of people's intuition.
Okay.
But I would it would ruin it if I kind of told you the outcome. So but no, there's some really good stuff. I got a lot of great card stuff. I'm learning to do some pretty good vanishes and object teleportation, a little bit of mentalism.
Okay, two quick things. One, as you're talking, I would set up a GoFundMe scholarship fund for an underprivileged student named Jesse Carey who needs to be. I need my relocation fees to Los Angeles. I need a sizable home, and I need my tuition paid for the Magic Castle. That's reasonable. The GoFundMe's up. Okay, we had a guy on we did a Christmas Spectacular episode, Mike, and we had a guy that we ran into. We discovered this guy at a Orlando restaurant at the prior year's Christmas party, and he was doing tableside magic, right? He technically wasn't a magician, he was a mentalist, and he would bend spoons, and he did this one trick, and I hope you're not breaking the code, but I'm going to ask you straight
forks, quarters, like he and the whole like touch your nose with your eyes shut and somebody else feels it, that kind of thing.
How does that happen?
That's demons, right? Clearly, like we've established that's the supernatural. Are we correct there?
It's magic.
Oh, come on, Mike.
Consider the door closed. This is our training room.
The door has closed. This is a private space. There's only a few people.
He's going to get kicked out of
anymore.
school, guys. Don't get him in trouble. He's going to get kicked out. They monitor everything.
I will tell you how the secret sharing in magic works.
Okay.
A magician, if you show earnest interest, especially a couple times in a row, will show you a basic trick. And then the next time they see you, if you're great at that trick, they'll tell you something else. But they want people who are bought in and invested, because it takes dozens and hundreds of hours, thousands of hours, in some cases tens of thousands of hours per trick to pull it off. And so they will give you the knowledge if you're putting in the work, because once you've invested the work, you won't casually share the secret.
Okay,
right?
so that strategy of earnestness, genuine interest, and putting in hard work is better than my strategy, which has been, show me how it's done, Demon Man! Show me!
What is interesting, I was traveling, I was at a conference with Propaganda, and I was doing some of my tricks around a table. We were all out to dinner, and Prop looked at me and goes, tell me the truth. Is there dark spirits involved in this trick?
right.
And that's what you look at right now.
It's so convincing. People can't believe that it literally is just tricks.
Oh, I don't believe it. I believe you're dabbling in dangerous territory, and I support it, Mike. I support it.
I'm all in,
Go
Mike.
to the darkest edge, look into the void until it starts staring back and tell us its secrets. That's what I want.
I will say, on the history of this show, there has not been a moment that has stopped Jesse and I more in our tracks.
Yeah.
Like, usually we just talk over everything, but we just stopped and did a big inhale and just waited. Please
Literally
share.
a gasp.
You're what
Literally
we've been
a
hoping for.
gasp. Yeah.
What did you do? Like, I mean, practically, is it like an improv class where anybody can sign up Tuesdays at 5, or is it like you have to be vetted to even be allowed to join the class?
No, anyone can sign up for Magic 1, the first class, which they call Conjuring 1.
Cool.
That's
and
awesome. Then you have to finish a class to go to the next one. So I've done Conjuring 1, 2, and 3, and now I'm in Performance Magic. So.
Yeah. And I will say this, there's a small initiation fee and initiation, which involves being branded with the pentagram and sacrificing a live human. But after you're done with that, I mean, they onboard you. They onboard you with a little welcome video. It's really pleasant, So
It is. It's nice. It is.
So
you can't wash the blood off your hands for 2 weeks, but other than that,
I mean, they literally make you bathe in it. They've made that a requirement now, and but other than that, you just gotta mount that goat head at your house. But it's fine. It is fine. It's just illusions. Yeah.
Speaking of which, the last time I was in LA, I thought I saw the Magic Castle, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. It's so iconic. I've read about it, and it turns out it was that Church of Scientology building in Hollywood, and it really does look a lot like that Magic Castle.
Well, here's what I will say. The next time either of you or any of you are in LA, let me know if you want to go to the castle. I'd be happy.
I'm booking my trip.
Guest.
I'm literally booking a trip right now.
This is exactly like when she invites Michael Scott to come to Tallahassee. He's like, I'll book a ticket.
How's Thanksgiving weekend?
I'm going to be in LA.
Gosh,
I'm going to be in LA in 4 weeks, Mike. I will send you details.
All right. That's that. Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it. All right. Coming in number 2 this week on the hot list, Andy Mineo, our old friend, opened up about his struggle with doubt this week. The rapper teamed up with the YouVersion Bible app for a video in which he gets honest about struggling with faith. Andy says that wrestling with doubt led him to forget everything he thought he knew about God and start from scratch with what Scripture actually says for himself. Here's a clip.
A lot of people know me as an artist who is very open about my faith. An interesting thing is that in the last few years, I've experienced a tremendous amount of doubt. Some of us grow up in churches. We go to youth group. Our parents are Christians. And so being a Christian is just part of how you understand life. I think a lot of people have questions and doubts and fears, and they feel like they have to work through them on their own. That's where that idea of like, man, do I trust God when I don't see him? When everything seems confusing, do I trust that he's ultimately good and has better ideas for me than I do? I felt like, let me just wipe everything out that I know about God and start from zero, but let me start with the Bible. When we look through the scripture, we see David and all kinds of people just shaking their fist at God and being like, yo, what's up? Asking questions and angry. God wants relationship with us and that he can handle our fears or our outbursts or our emotions with him.
That like anger and shaking your fist at God and not understanding is actually covered extensively in Conjuring 3. It's part of the curriculum.
It's mostly things to shout at God. It's a very jarring book, and and
you have to really just release all belief in God to be able to finish.
I mean, you're
that.
saying some pretty blasphemous, terrible things, and when you're at level 3, when you're at level 3, I mean, you're conjuring some really dark stuff, and it
you
it
can't
takes
bend
some
metal
blasphemy.
with that
No,
kind
but
of
I was going to say,
faith.
Mike, I think that one thing that that I loved about your first book, Finding God in the Waves, is kind of your own journey, similar to what Andy was saying. Is let's throw everything out and start fresh and see if God can handle all of these questions. Like I think there's a lot of value to that approach, even though it feels risky and you can lose friends and relationships. But I feel like coming out on the other side, it does give you like a sense of ownership over faith. And, like I said, I think that's one of the big things that I liked about your story is that kind of just emotional and intellectual honesty with God,
Yeah, there's something like really liberating, at least for me, about like an existential faith crisis. And that ever since then, faith has never felt like something I have mastery over again, or that I have all the right ideas about. And it's ironic because I probably feel I cherish like moments in spiritual community more than I ever have. I cherish experiences with God more than I ever have. But there's a really like kind of relaxed, less anxious approach to your faith when you figure out like God is who God is, and my understanding or lack of understanding doesn't change who God is. So instead of trying to like solve the puzzle and nail the equation, solve for X or whatever, I think I'd rather just experience the beauty that God can bring to a life well lived. And it's actually made me love the church more than I ever did, even though like, to some wings of the church, I'm probably an outsider, but I appreciate more than ever the fact that like billions of people in the world have all been drawn to and changed by the same paradoxical mystery story around Christ.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I rest easier in the notion that God loves me more than I ever have, even when I'm not always sure what that means.
I do think it's interesting that you're talking about in the same season where you are realizing that you can't solve the equation and you don't have a mastery over faith anymore. You sign up for magic classes so you can master something and solve the equation.
Something in the supernatural.
You need something in the supernatural realm that you can master. So I'm going to the magic castle because church I can't handle.
You're going to run into Andy Mineo there, I think, too. Yeah, he's in there just, in the full robe, the cult thing. Oh, it's, just
oh gosh,
just Conjuring 2.
No,
Conjuring
Andy
2.
Mineo got them buildings confused, and he ended up at the Scientology building down the street.
It's a common mistake. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Special kind of magic in that building.
Yeah.
It's actually most of Scientology's membership in LA is people who thought it was the magic castle and then were too polite to leave.
And they're like, well, this definitely seems like Conjuring 1. I'm being hooked up to a machine and having to tell secrets.
Yeah,
so I'm fine.
Tom Cruise is like meeting with like the head of. He's like, so when are we going to get to the thing like the David Blaine thing where you write your name on the card and I like burn it and I rub the ash on it? Is that coming? Because I'm in deep here, man.
I've given you quite a bit of money at this point, and you guys know everything.
Listen, all I want to do is untie my shoes and kick them around in a blurry fashion. And they end up perfectly tied like David Blaine does. When are we doing that? When is David Blaine coming? This is part of the deal. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love the idea that all these people thought they were going to the Magic Castle and they ended up Scientologists.
Yeah, it's the final show of like Leah Remini's like A&E docuseries, like behind the dark curtain, inside the cult of Scientology. And you just find out that she's just been wanting to know some basic coin tricks.
Yeah, it's a bunch of people with top hats looking confused.
They have to leave their family and all that stuff. But if that's what it takes to bend a spoon,
I really want to know how to make an ace right out of a deck of cards. So
on the final episode, Leah Remini just goes to someone. She goes, "I want you to pull that quarter out of your pocket and read the date on it. It says 1993, doesn't it? Boom! It was all worth it. It was all worth it.
Every single moment."
And they're like, "It's actually 97." Ah, okay. Well, back to the drawing board.
Well,
coming in number one this week on the hot list, Tyler Perry this week delivered a moving speech about the importance of helping others at the BET Awards. The filmmaker was given the Ultimate Icon Award. Sounds like they made that up. And used the acceptance speech to encourage. Yeah, it's like they were like, "Hey, Tyler, we're going to give you the Lifetime Icon Award." No, I'm not coming. The Ultimate Icon? Yeah,
well,
okay,
in that case,
I'll be there.
And we'll show you how to tie your shoes without using your hands. It's a crazy good trick. Yeah.
And what if we give it to
Tom
Medea?
Cruise here?
Would Medea accept it?
He used the acceptance speech to encourage people to look out for others in their lives and communities. Even though his childhood neighborhood was plagued with crime, he learned the value of helping others in his own community as a child. He told the story of assisting an elderly man cross a busy street and how that idea, or helping others cross, has continued to motivate him throughout his career. Here's a clip.
When I built my studio, I built it in a neighborhood that is one of the poorest black neighborhoods in Atlanta, so the young black kids can see that a black man did that and they can do it too. I was trying to help somebody cross. The studio was once a Confederate Army base, and I want you to hear this, which meant that there was Confederate soldiers on that base plotting and planning on how to keep 3.9 million Negroes enslaved. Now that land is owned by one Negro.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's all about trying to help somebody cross. While everybody was fighting for a seat at the table, talking about Oscar so white, I said, y'all go ahead and do that. But while you fighting for a seat at the table, I'll be down in Atlanta building my own. Because what I know for sure is that if I could just build this table, God would prepare it for me in the presence of my enemies. Rather than being an icon, I want to be an inspiration. So Thank you, BET, my new family. Thank you, everybody. I want you to hear this. Every dreamer in this room, there are people whose lives are tied into your dream. Own your stuff. Own your business. Own your way. God bless you. Thank you, BET. Thank you, Scott. I love you guys.
I know.
Wow.
I know. Obviously, like
That ruled.
There's like varying opinions about Tyler Perry's movies and things like that. But man, even just the redemption story of where he chose to build his studio. Of like, I'm going to redeem this and make this a place where other people can find opportunities to launch their career. I was looking at some of the people, Idris Elba, like there's a long list of people that Tyler Perry really helped kind of springboard their careers. And it was cool to see him take that opportunity to tell that backstory, but also challenge others and, weave his faith in a really natural and compelling way,
That's good. All right. That'll do it for.
It's the hot list. The hot list. It's sizzling.
Disgusting. All right. Stay tuned. Up
Very
next.
bacony.
For King and Country, join us.
Benefit myself, ooh, gotta stay around but make a comeback too. I know my only mother wants a son back too. They're saying I'm the voice of the young black youth, and then I say, yeah, cool, and then I bum my zoo, and now I'm...
Today's episode is brought to you by Not Forsaken, Finding Freedom as Sons and Daughters of a Perfect Father by best-selling author and pastor Louis Giglio. In Not Forsaken, Louis points us to a God who is not absent or ambivalent, but is available and affectionate, ready to shower us with his approval and love. When we take hold of this truth, we are not defined by our pasts, but by the love of a perfect Father. Christine Kane said, Not Forsaken is both timely and timeless. It will help heal the wounds and fill the deepest longings of a generation. Pick up a copy of Not Forsaken at your local bookstore or at notforsakenbook.com.
Aiming in Jesus' name, oh yes, I claim it. Any little bread that I make, I have to break it. Brothers want to break me down, I can't take it. I've done a scholarship for the kids, they said it's racist.
You're listening to Crown by Stormzy. New one. Well, today's show is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a landing page, a beautiful gallery, a professional blog, or an online store, it's all included with your Squarespace website. Creating a site with Squarespace is a simple, intuitive process. You can add and arrange your content and features with the click of a mouse. You can even design a best-in-class online store with Squarespace's award-winning templates, customizable settings, and more, all without a single plugin, including all the tools you need to track inventory, process orders, and send custom emails in one intuitive interface. Squarespace Commerce allows you to understand every aspect of your business. And right now, they're offering Relevant Podcast listeners a special deal. Go to squarespace.com/relevant for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, use the offer code RELEVANT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Well, for King and Country is preparing for a massive global tour, which runs through this fall. The band also just released their collaboration with Timbaland and Echosmith, a remix of their song God Only Knows, a song that they performed here in the Relevant Studios and you heard on this podcast a few months ago. We recently spoke with the Grammy-winning duo about the story behind the song, their dream collaborations, and why their music has connected with so many people in need of finding hope. Here is part of our very own Jesse Carey's conversation with For King and Country.
Every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories, they somehow never leave you. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe.
I saw, you guys recently did like a vlog post, and you had mentioned that you have gotten a lot of fan mail about the song, particularly with these stories of people who have been, kind of going through struggles in their own life. Can you tell me a little bit about what the response has been like, and, maybe a couple of the stories that have really impacted you personally that have jumped out?
Yeah. I had a phone call with, I'm going to name drop here for a minute, Jesse, with
Sure.
a friend sleeping at last. His name's Ryan.
Yeah.
And he just did a whole list of these Enneagram songs. And I said to him on the call, I said, Ryan, you know what you've just done, right? And he said, what? I said, you've just inherently, to people who love music, you have become the authority on the Enneagram because you've written songs about it. And there's this weird thing that happens that if you, as poets and writers, when you put pen to paper and you come up with these songs and ideas, that people look at you. It was a similar thing with Joy, where they go, hey, well, you discovered the secret here. And we're like, well, we're sojourners with you. But God only knows has been that to the nth degree, where you put a magnifying glass on this issue of whether it's loss or loneliness, depression, or even the music video kind of circles around this idea of an act of kindness can even save someone from taking their own life. And you put this magnifying glass on it, and what it does is twofold. Number one, it's like you just bought a Toyota Camry, and all of a sudden you start seeing Toyota Camrys everywhere. You didn't notice this issue before, or this car before. So it does that on one hand, and the other thing it does is people look to you, which is really humbling. They look to you as this mouthpiece for what they're feeling, because this is more than a campaign. This is the putting music into people's hearts. It's kind of bypassing the head and going to the heart. And so, and the stories as a result, I was going to take my life, and I was flipping through and I saw this song on YouTube or whatever it might be, have been kind of overwhelming, because you hear it all the time. Musicians say, I wrote this kind of song, and people reach out. But dude, it's been in the thousands, it's been in the tens of thousands of people that have suffered great loss or great depression or suicidal thoughts. And this has just been a drop in the ocean of being able to help them kind of come to grips with the fact that they're not alone, that they're loved.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about how the song initially came, even before the collaborations, when you guys were writing the song, what sort of served as the impetus to speak to this kind of thing that's obviously connecting with a lot of people?
Yeah, well, we were writing for the new project, Burn the Ships. And, sometimes you get into writing so many songs that most of the songs do come from these super personal places of, hey, today I'm going to come in with this story that took place a week ago, or this, whatever it might be. But there comes a point where you work on so many new songs that you're scanning through lyric ideas or song ideas. And Joel actually had written just the phrase "God Only Knows" as just a song title. And when he said that, to the room, we kind of all leaned in and was like, man, well, God only knows, what does he know? And it was kind of a universal sentiment in the room of God only knows the things that we've been through, things that we've walked through. And then I, in particular, had been reminded of some of the letters that we get from people that are, mentally unwell in that moment. And they just talk about how much music has helped them. And it became, for us, something that what if we were to interject some of those stories into this song? Because these people's stories are inherently becoming our stories, because we're with these people at these shows. Most weekends we're seeing this take place. And that was where this concept of, despite all the things that you've done, despite all the shame that might exist, there's a kind of love. And it's such a funny phrase, isn't it? Like you throw it around so flippantly. God only knows why this sort of stuff happens. But when you really dig into it, this, particularly in such a divided culture that we kind of sit in right now, this concept that this being, this entity knows everything about us, and yet our deepest, darkest secrets, and yet still has this kind of superhero love for us. While we only have partial information about each other at best, and yet we're still quick to judge, and yet this entity doesn't judge us, is kind of, it was a fascinating concept.
Well, guys, I want to shift gears for just a sec. I know you're playing a lot of festivals, throughout the summer, but you're also getting ready for this big Burn the Ships world tour. And, when you guys came by the Relevant office a few months ago, it's still the talk of the office about how killer of a performance it was, despite being kind of like a small setting. And so I wanted to ask, I wanted to see if you guys could tell me a little bit about what you got planned for this tour, because I think anyone who's seen you guys live before know that you and your band are incredible live performers. What are you guys planning for the upcoming world tour?
Yeah, well, man, first of all, we had a thrilling time coming by the offices. We've been Relevant supporters for a long time, so it was we were kids in a lolly shop to come by.
Thanks, man.
And Cameron and the whole team, you've all been very encouraging to us. But it's an interesting time for the band because, again, we've been it's 3 records in. It's out with 7th year officially as a group. And we've always wanted to do this kind of concept to a pretty elaborate night where it's just us and the audience. But it's always felt like it's slightly eluded us as we've been trying to build the story of the band. And for the first time, really in the history of the band, when we started putting pen to paper on this year and the schedule, this fall felt like the first time we could actually officially bring to life live the sort of the visual spectacle, the drama, and kind of the musical, like, you know, Hamilton side of what we do inside the concept tour. So the record's called Burn the Ships. We're shaping the whole stage like the bow of a ship. Certain people in the audience can even sit inside, like the sort of the bow of the ship, if you will. Wow. There's going to be moving LED screens that kind of create different pictures and different scenes above the stage, and elevators, and, you know, all of these different layers to the spectacle of the night to kind of take you on a journey. We haven't invited any other artists to be with us, so it's literally going to be the longest set we've played. We're going to play every song off the new album, and it's just going to be a night of stories as well, kind of laced through the whole thing. And so we're just as excited as everyone else to see what it's going to be like. But we've been really for a few months now putting pen to paper on the visual side, the musical side, the storytelling side. And so 36 arenas across America, and then you can stick a fork in us for the year. But I think that voyage sets sail on September, I think it's 26th, and then goes all the way up to Thanksgiving.
That was for King and Country. Stay tuned. Up next, oh boy, it's Ask the Cast. You're listening to Deja Vu by Soak. You're listening to Deja Vu by Soak.
I knew it.
I did it.
It makes me so mad to have missed that joke.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, it is. It's time for Ask the Cast. We've been doing this recently. It's a lot of fun. You guys hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast and ask us things. Since Science Mike is joining us today, we figured it'd be fun to include him in the nonsense. So here are some of the questions you sent us.
And Mike, these are nothing that would show up on Ask Science Mike. I vetted every one of these questions. This will in no way affect the content of your podcast.
And you would have filtered them out for quality long before they ever got to your podcast.
So this is not an Ask the Cast. This question is specifically for Science Mike. So this is literally Ask Science Mike. Science Mike, how many helium balloons would it take for me to make my neighbor's annoying chihuahua disappear?
Ooh. Oh, man. It would depend on the weight of the chihuahua and the size of the balloon.
Yeah.
And how much helium you put in the balloon. So how tightly you fill the balloon.
Yeah.
Because you can actually you can overfill a helium balloon and slightly decrease the amount of lift it produces without popping the balloon. But it's not going to be a lot. Chihuahuas are really light. I'm not positive, but I feel like you could plausibly, with as few as
Yeah,
50.
Really?
I was thinking 50.
That's very doable. Well, and if what's the person's name that asked that question? Caleb. Okay, yep, Caleb, if you do it, please send pictures and tag Mike and let your neighbors know that he was solely responsible for the trouble. All right, Mike, this one is going to use all of your powers of intellect, of knowledge of biology and the animal kingdom. And there can only be one right answer. If all animals, this from Josh, if all animals were the same size, what would win in a fight?
That's a great question.
I feel like this is just a matter of science fact here.
Because
immediately you
same
think
size.
great white shark, right?
What
but
size?
they can't.
Yeah, I don't think the size matters. I mean, whether
The
they're
size matters tremendously.
it really
That's our whole evolutionary benefit, right?
By the way, I was way off on the Chihuahua balloon lift.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
A helium balloon has about 5 grams of lift per balloon in an ideal situation.
Oh,
if
wow.
I estimate
yeah.
a Chihuahua is 10 pounds, that's going to be right around 4,500 grams, which you would need about 900 balloons.
What?
To get
Which is why you
Chihuahua off the ground. Sorry, I really wanted to do the math, not just the estimate.
Yeah.
I was
Here's
actually
why
doing
the
the math while
size
you
of
were
the
talking.
animals matters a lot. Something like a praying mantis is a really fierce animal.
Yeah.
And if you scale down a lion to a praying mantis's size,
Yeah.
the praying mantis is going to dominate, especially because skeletons, the whole thing is scale here.
Yeah.
So if you scaled up a praying mantis to the size of a lion, it can't move. But if you scale down a lion to the size of a praying mantis, its skeletal structure is so weak that just walking will probably break its bones. So the size matters a lot because animals that are naturally in that size range are going to have an incredible advantage because their musculoskeletal
so like
system
spiders
is
are
optimized
going
for that
to
amount of
win.
mass.
So if we're going to spider level, they're winning, right?
No, yeah. So I'm going to pick it. The size is the size of a lion. That is the size. So you're bringing up the praying mantis to that size. You're bringing down an elephant to that size. There's your medium. So lion, what's the animal that dominates all the others?
Tarantula, right? A tarantula.
Tarantulas wouldn't be able to move. They'd be complete. Anything with an exoskeleton is out.
A giant crab.
Anything that's not. Now, are we on land or in the water?
On land.
On land.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
a crab.
on land.
But a crab could still. I mean,
no, crabs would not be able to move. Their exoskeleton would be too heavy.
Yeah.
What about a big?
I'm probably
giant
going with
snake?
a tiger. Tigers are if it's single combat, pound for pound, they're one of the fiercest fighters on the planet. So I'll probably go with a tiger.
What about a bird? Like a real angry bird? Because wouldn't they be light enough to still be able to handle the weight?
No, well, that's they would be so their bones are so light at that size, their bones would be extraordinarily brittle. So larger birds like ostrich have denser bones than birds of flight. So if you scale up, an eagle or something to the size of a lion, it's going to experience severe injury just existing.
Now
That's really not fair. See, I want to see like a silverback gorilla fight a bunch of big old snakes and just see, like, I want to see him pick up one snake and just whack another snake. But I just feel like this animal battle thing, I feel like whoever wrote this question's onto something. Like if there was some kind of, show where you would have hypothetical CGI animal battles, I mean, I would.
Well, see, like, so we already know what a lion-sized snake is like. It's called an anaconda.
Yeah.
And they are dangerous, but we know that jaguars frequently kill and eat anacondas.
Really?
Yeah, because it's all a matter of who gets the ambush first. So I don't think an anaconda represents a meaningful threat to something like a tiger. So that's why I feel relatively confident without doing a really deep analysis that tiger is at least a competitive answer.
You're going to be laying in bed tonight thinking of this answer. You're going to be
Okay. What if you dropped a tiger into a pit of anacondas and threw a bunch of regular sized crabs in there just to make everyone mad? Who's walking away? A bunch of animals enter, one animal's leaving that pit.
All right. Eric asked, this is interesting. Eric asked, what's your favorite fact to throw out in conversation? He says his is that great northern beans are just matured and dried green beans. What's your favorite random fact to throw out in conversation?
Cool fact.
Yeah, I was going to say, Eric sounds like a real thrill at parties.
That kills in Tallahassee.
Hey guys, I don't know if you guys heard about the Great Northern Bean thing, but there's just old regular dried up green beans,
Yeah.
Started
to make funny
fact to
about
throw out in a conversation. I mean, Mike, I feel like we kind of established yours, which is you're a member of the Magic Castle. I mean, it doesn't get any better. Like, there's nothing you can say. The only thing you can say is I've been to the moon. I'm an astronaut. Like, you're in such elite company, you know, like you've won the Tour de France, you have orbited the Earth, and you're part of the Magic Castle. That's the holy trinity of one-upsmanship. Yeah,
I don't disagree.
Eddie, what would be your fact?
I always find myself nerding out about people that did like voices, like voiceover stuff. So like what's the voice of Tony the Tiger is the same guy that was the voice of the Transformer, whatever, Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Same voice of like all of those different people. I find that I'm the only one interested in it, but I always like go down the IMDb rabbit hole of voiceover people.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like to just randomly tell people how much I can bench press. It's very impressive. And, you know, people love when you just talk about weightlifting to them, you know, I mean, it's a very cool thing to do. Very cool thing, kids. Yeah.
Levi, this is crazy. Levi asked the exact same question that my 9-year-old son asked me in the car this morning. Levi says, I'll just ask it the way my son did. Dad, do you think that science and technology will ever advance to the point where time travel will be possible? That's what he asked me randomly as we were getting on 5-4 this morning. And Levi says,
I did something really bad this morning, and I'd love the chance to undo it.
And I will say, there's only one person in this show right now actually qualified to answer it, and so here I go.
Well, Levi think so. Levi says, do you believe time travel exists, and how do you think it works?
Time travel does exist. We are traveling through time right now.
Okay.
Mine's
already blown. Mine's already blown.
We can change the perception of the passage of time for any given reference frame in the universe using two different things. One is the curvature of space-time in a gravity well. So you can travel to the future effectively by getting close enough to a black hole and then escaping that orbit without crossing the event horizon.
To be fair, everyone knows that one, but continue.
Everyone knows that. Or you can travel a significant fraction of light speed and effectively travel to the future. Because your local reference frame, your perception of time will be so radically slowed. Now, what really interests people is there a plausible way to travel back in time? And there, in fact, is one plausible mechanism to go back in time in physics.
Conjuring 4.
That is to open a wormhole, a stable gateway between 2 points that are located near each other in physical space, but to have one end of the wormhole be on a spacecraft. At that point, you would have that spacecraft take off and travel at relativistic velocities away from the point of origin, and then turn around and come back. So some significant fraction of light speed for a significant amount of time on a voyage that moves away and then returns to the original point of origin, at which point the two ends of that wormhole would no longer be aligned temporally. So depending on how fast you went, you could potentially walk through the portal on one side and go back to the time very near when it was open. Why that is interesting is on a ship traveling that fast, let's say, 4 or 5 years passed. On the original planet, it could have been thousands, even tens of thousands of years. So you would have a doorway, 2 doors next to each other going in one would take you back thousands of years.
So, Mike, hypothetically, let's say I need to return some Infinity Stones to very particular times, very urgently. Yes. I don't want to be over dramatic, but the fate of all of half of the universe, you're saying this would, that's basically similar to what they did in the movie, right?
One small problem.
Okay.
This kind of time machine will not let you travel back to before it was created.
Oh, right. Okay.
We don't have a plausible means to take you back in time to before a time machine was built.
So then my son says, when would you want to go back in time if you could, Dad? Like if you could just arbitrarily go anytime. And I was like, I don't know that I would want to, because it's all like we'd have to, they didn't have bathrooms and there's no electricity. And I just, I'm more, I said, I would rather go to the future, like if I could just kind of like peek in on another time, I'd rather see in the future. And he goes, not me. He goes, I don't want to go to the future. I want to be present and create my own future. That's what he said. And I'm like, I thought I was listening to a Tyler Perry acceptance speech. I was so inspired. I was like,
I left there inspired, ready to change the world.
Preach it, kid.
Yeah.
Make your own future, buddy.
Yeah, ultimate icon. You can give him the ultimate icon award. Look at that. Yeah. Well,
Ian says, I have a history of sleepwalking. It usually occurs when I'm sleep deprived or worried and stressed. Why is this?
I mean, I think
really
we
don't know, right, Mike?
Well, no, I think the answer is obvious, Mike. I'll let you confirm it, but you're possessed by a demon, and you need to. Once you hit Conjuring 5, I mean, this happens all the time. It's very normal at that level, So I think that's what you were going to say too, right, Mike? It's demons.
It's definitely demons, and by demons we mean this is basically the neurological inverse of a condition called sleep paralysis. You effectively have patches of brain tissue that are designed to keep your body from responding to the movements you create in dreams. So in sleep paralysis, that patch of tissue remains active after people wake up, and people will experience that often as being stuck in kind of a twilight state. They'll be aware that they're in the room, but they might see dark figures. The dark figure might approach them, might sit on their chest. They feel a heaviness because their body is actually paralyzed, because their brain is having a hard time determining whether they're asleep or awake. The opposite is true in sleepwalking, where that patch of tissue allows your sleeping brain to operate your body. It's quite common in children. It's considerably more rare in adults. I think it's, 4 or 5% of the population off the top of my head. And when people talk about treating sleepwalking, you're onto some really important things there about when you're stressed or when you're sleep deprived. Both sleep paralysis and sleepwalking are minimized when people practice good sleep hygiene, meaning they go to bed about the same time every night, they wake up about the same time every morning, and they have a good pre-bed ritual that involves limited amount of screen time, no caffeine, no late dining, and minimize the amount of light in the room where they sleep.
I'll say, listen, I've done all of those things. Helped a lot. I did some horrible things in my sleep. I strapped 4,500 balloons to my neighbor's chihuahua and watched him float away. It was like a dream. Turns out I was just snoozing, just took a little nap. And next thing I know, I wake up and the chihuahua's, 45,000 feet. Yeah. I mean, he's just a speck on the, the sky at that point, but hey, science.
Especially since I said it was 900 balloons. So at 4,500 balloons, that chihuahua would have some lift.
He's basically a weather balloon at that point. He's up there orbiting the earth with a Tesla, So, yeah.
Elf asks, I mean, this is what it says, is Elf. What movie did you watch as a kid that scarred you for life? He says, for me, it has to be Mac and Me.
Absolutely. Have you guys ever seen the Paul Rudd thing that he does on Conan?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen this, Mike? Every time Paul Rudd, and his whole career, goes on Conan to pitch a movie, he will, Conan will say like, all right, let's see a clip of Ant-Man. And it's just the same clip of Mac and Me over and over, and they never show a clip of the movie. And Conan it's really a great bit, but it reminds me how weird Mac and Me is.
It wasn't a movie that disturbed me, but it was the TV series Beauty and the Beast. It was I think it was a pretty short run series, but the Beast was like this. He kind of looked like a lion, like a part man, part lion. And for some reason, I was convinced that at night he just roams the hallways of my suburban house. I can't go to the bathroom tonight. I know Beast is out there, that's what really disturbed me as a child.
I was like a year or two too young to see Neverending Story when I did. And I loved the movie, but also it scared me so deeply that I would have these nightmares that I'm writing. What is it? What's the dog? The flying dog? Atreyu or something like that?
Atreyu is his name. Falcor is the dog.
Falcor.
That I'm writing cool Falcor, name. And I'm both completely exhilarated because I'm writing a flying dog, and I'm also terrified because, I'm writing a flying dog. Yeah. So,
and then I realized I was just dreaming. I wasn't writing a flying dog. I was making a dog fly with balloons. And I've floated away 7 or 8 neighbors' dogs in my lifetime because of that film, I think. So it's a big
I was never afraid of movies as a kid. Pretty young, I'd watch the really extreme horror movies, and my friends would watch them with me, and we were so proud we were never afraid. And then one night we were sitting outside, and it was probably 10 o'clock at night, And in the woods behind our houses, we heard someone starting a chainsaw. And it's like, that's a strange hour to do some timber cutting. And the chainsaw starts up, and a man walks out of the woods wearing a mask and all camo on a chainsaw and starts to run after us.
Nuh-uh.
Absolutely true. So we all take off, and one of my friends was like up in our tree fort, and he said, guys, please wait. And we look back, and the guy with the chainsaw is raising the chainsaw toward him, and we all just jumped the fence and left him. And we ran down the street to like the next door neighbor's house, and the house was empty. All the lights were on. There was no one there. So I ran to my house. All the lights were on. The doors were open. No one was there. So we thought this guy had like killed everyone in the neighborhood. And then we ran in my backyard, and all our parents are back there. And we're like screaming and afraid that our friend is dead. And they all start laughing.
Oh, no.
So the guy coming out of the woods was my dad, was trying to teach us all that horror movies really were scary.
Wow.
And mission accomplished.
What a weird thing to do.
Yeah,
Tallahassee is the best.
That's just a rite of passage in Tallahassee. You know?
Yeah, that's just classic.
That's called Thursday in Tallahassee. You know,
we were 100% convinced it was a real chainsaw murderer.
Who wouldn't be 100% convinced? It's a real chainsaw murderer up until you don't know it. I mean, that's exactly what the real ones look like, is a person running after you with a chainsaw.
It's like, I've always been afraid of like clowns since I was a kid. And I've always wondered if it's when I saw the It made for TV movie, or if it's that time I found that dead clown in the woods. I don't know why, but something has really unsettled me about clowns since then. I can't pinpoint it, but
yeah, it's tough.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this will be the last one. Philip tweeted us and asked, what would be your craziest plan for mitigating climate change that just might work?
Now, Chandler, I will say this. Chandler does not think there is climate change. So don't even get him started on it. He thinks it's just the way it goes. And sometimes it's a little bit chilly.
All right. Well, I don't want to contribute to the lamestream media narrative. So I say everything's just fine. That's what my solution is. Just keep on burning those fossil fuels. So what's the worst that can happen? That's my solution there. From Mike, tell us the perspective from Hollyweird.
Oh, I have a crazy plan that just might work, where people reduce their consumption of consumer goods and especially meat. Mm-hmm. We lower overall carbon emissions and make very intentional efforts toward reforestry and rehabilitating prairie lands. That's my crazy plan. Now, that might be too crazy. Responsible action on a global scale. So my dark horse would be to, at a massive and industrial scale, spray a reflective aerosol into the upper atmosphere, simulating a light nuclear winter.
Those are great ideas. I was hoping you were going to say something involving a big laser, but I mean, I like those too. Those seem plausible. Yeah. Huh?
Okay.
There we go. We solved it.
We'll do an encore one. Alec, I just saw this one. Alec asked, if you have a normal Pop-Tart that hasn't been put in the toaster, would you consider that a raw Pop-Tart or just a normal Pop-Tart?
Sure, Pop-Tart, homie. You don't even need to put Pop-Tarts in the toaster. They're perfect as they are.
Dude, they're called a Pop-Tart because they're supposed to pop out of the toaster.
No, because you're supposed to pop them in your mouth. Just straight out of that.
I believe the tart was popped when it was made at the plant. I believe it is a finished entity.
You open it from that little like hurricane emergency blanket that it's wrapped in, that little foil one. Take it, pop it out, pop it in your mouth, get the burst of tart.
Dude,
and
I think the whole point is that it's uncooked at that point, and that they are intending that you would cook it. It's like you're eating a food you would make for dinner, but not cooking it. You know what I mean? Like it's not the completed version.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I like to be
the tart was null and void, and the pop hovered over the waters.
I think that's the end.
We nailed it.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever get better than that.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it for Ask the Cast. Hey, many thanks for King and Country for joining us today. They are on tour right now. You can check out their new remix with Timbaland and Echosmith of God Only Knows. Thanks also to Squarespace for making the episode possible. Remember, you can go to squarespace.com/relevant for a free trial. When you're ready to launch your site, use the offer code RELEVANT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us today, man. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was, and you can tell it's been a while since I've been here because I prepared a slice. And I'm just had that ready
dude,
the whole time.
Okay, Mike. Hey, can we get Mike to give us a 90-second version of the slice? We got to hear it. You can't tease us like that. Let's hear it.
Because Mike, what we had to do is it's not your fault. It was just miscommunicated because we're doing 2 shows a week now. We have slices on one of them on the Tuesday show, and we have the hot list on the Friday show.
Give us,
but still, Cameron, give him a quick pitch to it.
Yeah. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
All right, what do you have, Mike?
Really big news. I'm sure you saw that SpaceX launched their Falcon Heavy again, this time on an Air Force mission.
Yes.
And among the multiple spacecraft included in that payload was one of the first ever completely private spacecraft launched by a society, specifically the Planetary Society.
Really?
Which is Bill Nye's the CEO, and I'm a card-carrying member of the Planetary Society.
Dude, you're part of so many cool societies.
It's true.
Oh,
and,
dude.
My friends at the Planetary Society launched a breadbox-sized satellite called LightSail 2.
Yes.
That has a razor-thin mylar sail that is literally going to use photons to increase its speed and change its orbit, which should prove the plausibility of solar propulsion as a viable means for propelling spacecraft in our solar system.
Whoa.
And what's remarkable about it is it's a technology that Carl Sagan himself advocated, and Carl founded the Planetary Society. And by sticking to its mandate and doing private fundraising, that small organization based out of California may in fact help us innovate not only space travel, but create a plausible form for interstellar space travel.
Wow.
Gosh, that was worth it.
That's better than the slice I was preparing for next week, which is about how popular hot dogs are among Gen Z right now. So both a lot to think about.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up. That was great.
Man.
That was great, Mike.
Let's just pop that off and make that an entire bonus episode.
Yeah.
Mike, you're everything I hope to be when I get older.
Yeah,
I mean, and by older, I think you're like 2 years older than me, but I hope a lot happens soon.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things start going right for me, but yes.
Eddie, you got a lot of ground to make up, man.
Got to get out of Florida.
All right. On that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Eddie Koffoltz.
I'm Science Mike.
And we will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Still think about you dancing in your orbit, singing all the wrong words to Hallelujah sweatshirt.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Show me how it's done, Demon Man! Show me!
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.